Hi, this is Denise with PaperKraftD, and I'm here today to share with you how to make some Thanksgiving home decor using the Antique Thanksgiving Postcard Digital Kit. And this is actually a double-sided, or you can do it double-sided if you want, a double-sided banner like this. And I'm going to show you what I mean. See, this is actually, let's see, hopefully you can see, it's, these line up perfectly. So if you have a double-sided printer, you can go ahead and print this double-sided, and I'm putting the light through so you can see there's no other print on the other side. And you can go ahead and just cut these out, and it'll make, you know, a double-sided banner. It's actually super cool. I want my banner to be a little thicker paper than this. So, you know, if, like me, you have a printer that has a mind of its own, and that mind happens to be one of a willful teenager, and it decides sometimes that it does not want to print double-sided on thick paper like this, then what you can do is just print it, you know, separately, and then, you know, put a thick piece of paper between the two sheets, or chipboard, you know, from a cereal box or whatever, you know, whatever you have handy. But yeah, sometimes my printer prints on thick items, chipboard like this. This is 110-pound cardstock, but it is not doing that today. And this one's a little messed up, so from trying to run it through the printer. So I'm just gonna glue one of these to either side like this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I glued this front and back to that cardstock, and this has a really nice heft to it. Let it dry for, I don't know, maybe half an hour or so. Just so it's not super wet. I'm going to start off just by cutting along these top edges. It'll just make cutting these out a little easier. And I'm going to try to get it as straight as I can. There we go. Okay, that looks good. All right, and then I'm just going to take my scissors. And the idea here is that I'm just going to do this in one, you know, I'm not going to snip, snip, snip. I'm going to do it in one pass. I'm going to line up my scissor blade, you know, the edge of my scissor blade here with this line right here. And I'm just going to do it in one smooth cut. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to continue doing that on all of these. Okay, and then, you know, you can save, these are, you know, leftover pieces, and these are banner shapes, so you can stamp on these. I'm just going to save them, stamp on them, do other things with them. Put them off to the side for now. I still have these to cut out, but I just want to show you what the next step is for this. Then I take and I use my, let's see, this is a We Are Memory Keepers multi-hole punch. I go to the 1/8 inch hole punch. And again, I do this on the solid side. I don't know, you could do it on either side really. And I line up where the white is in the hole. See it right there? And I punch. And it's pretty close. It's good to have like a little pokey tool or something handy. Okay, so I cut all these out and did all the holes, and all of these, the holes are pretty much right on the money. And when you print these, you know, double-sided, like look at that one, wow. When you print these double-sided, they should line up perfectly. These don't line up quite as well because, like I said, I had to print, you know, I had to glue, you know, 2 separate sheets onto thicker cardstock to get this, because I wanted the thickness, and you know, my printer decided today that it would not, just did not want to print on thick cardstock. But if you have a more emotionally mature printer than I do, and it doesn't act like a willful teenager, then maybe, you know, you can go ahead and print it on thicker cardstock, and you shouldn't have a problem with the holes lining up like that. But it's not a huge deal, you know. I like to just go ahead and do the edges a little bit, just ink them up a little bit. And for this one, I use this little brush. If you don't have one of these, you know, you can use maybe a Q-tip, or I have these in my stash, these Fantastics. I had completely forgotten that I had them, but this is kind of perfect for kind of getting down into that little hole. Yeah, there we go. Especially since I used a light colored cardstock instead of a like a cereal box or something. But look at how cute that looks. Ugh, I just love those. Okay, so I'm gonna ink all those up. And so I'm gonna put them in order, and I'm gonna use a little bit of this jute twine that I have in my stash. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree. So super easy to use. And, you know, I don't know if you can tell, but these are not actually real eyelets. They look like real eyelets because, you know, I did that in Photoshop and beveled them and made them look like real eyelets, but they're not actually real eyelets. You could add real eyelets in there if you want, but I like the way it looks just like that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a big needle, that's the word I'm looking for, that goes through the hole just fine. Okay, so this is the order that they come in the on the printable. And you can say, well, this doesn't spell anything. Thankful for family? No. Okay, here's what you can do with this. You can actually just make a banner that says thanks. You can make a banner that says thankful, which is I think what I'm going to be doing. And then if you want to print this out a second time, you can do, you know, the whole thing, thankful for family, and between each word, so you'd need one more of these, just one more to put right here. You know, just put a little design. So for example, thankful for, you know, you could do like that, and then family, you know, put the Y here. The other thing you could do is do thanks for family. You could do it like that. Or you have this one, which would be cute too. Okay, so there's lots of different options for putting this together, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to do thankful. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'll start at the end, and you can do it a couple different ways. You could go, actually, I think I'm going to go like this, so less is showing in the front. Now, if you want, you know, you can measure this out, you know, and cut it. I'm going to leave it on the string. You know, you can take and then tie this in the back so that it doesn't move around too much. I think I might go ahead and do that, but you don't have to. There we go. So it would only require, this is the end, it would only require a knot on one of the sides. It doesn't require it on both of the sides. I hope that makes sense. There we go. Okay. Make sure I'm going down through it. There we go. Knot. There we go. Okay. So that's how far apart they're going to be, because I'm not going to redo that. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm going to cut this so it's about the same length. And then look at how cute this is. Oh my goodness. Look at how cute that is. Thankful. And then on the back, we have all these cute little guys. Look how cute that is. Okay, so yeah, I'm super excited about that. Okay, so I've got this here, this sheet, and I really love this. I think this is so cute. I think this would make really cute little place cards for the Thanksgiving table. So I'm gonna go ahead and make those. And these I've lined everything up so that it can, you know, be cut evenly. I'm just going to use my ruler, because honestly, I like that vintage kind of look to it. So before I go into making the place cards, I just want to point out that the way I designed these cards on this sheet is that, you know, once you trim off the white spot, you should be able to just fold this over like that and glue it rather than having to cut both of them out, and it'll make a double-sided card. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's see. Burnish this down, and there you go. There's the front and there's the back of the postcard, and this is actually how they were aligned. Okay, so I've cut out 3 different piles. I've cut out all the fronts, and these are just the landscape orientation, not the ones that are portrait. I've cut out all of those. Their backs that are attached in the same sheet, like this, as well as the ones that have writing. Okay, so what I'm intending to do here is take, for example, I'll ink these up and I'll put these back to back. And this will be the front part of the tent. And then I'll have a piece of cardstock over the edge and have this be the back okay, where you write your name. I need, I'm just gonna take some of this cardstock that I tried running through the printer. It's the 110 pound. You probably don't need anything quite this thick, but I have it on hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. I'm gonna make my, make them 3.5 inches wide, so they're same width as these. I'm gonna do that on both. I'm gonna do that twice, so I have enough of them. Okay. And then I'm gonna take and make these 3 inches. Let's just make them 3 inches. And I'm gonna score each of these. I'm gonna make sure I've got them the right orientation. They need to be, so the 3.5 is at this edge. I'm going to, or the 3 inches at this edge. I'm going to score them at 2 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all of these. I'm going to fold this. Line this up like that and glue it across the top, just right below that fold. And I'm going to glue this like that and add the postcard back, just like that. And you know, if you use a glue stick, that'll give you, you know, a minute or two to kind of move things around, align it slightly. There we go. All right, and I'm gonna burnish that down. There we go, like that. And then, you know, you could leave this back blank, just the way it is. But I like the idea of putting this on the back of this. I think it's super cute. Now, if you can print on thicker cardstock, unlike me, you wouldn't really need to glue all this stuff down like I'm having to do. There's a cute little place card with a little detail even on the inside. Isn't that precious? You can write the name on the back. The other thing I wanted to show you is that I went ahead and cut out the tickets. So I just cut all of these out, scissors, and then I hole punched all of those. And I'm gonna, I printed on the back, just one of the background sheets. I'm gonna go ahead and fold this up just at, you know, kind of like you do a real ticket, right? So just like a concertina fold, just like that, just like real tickets would be, right? Like if you had a roll of tickets and you took off some tickets from there. And then I'm going to ink all of this up. And again, any of the little, you know, white spots that you might have gotten will be hidden, you know, with the ink. Let's see, it's going to be more obvious once I do this one. Okay, so you can see the difference between, you know, there, which has been inked, and this one which hasn't been inked. You've got a little bit of white there, but you really can't even tell once you ink it up. So that looks really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and ink those up as well. But the other thing that I wanted to show you is that I have these, on that same strip, I have these stamps. And these stamps do have, you know, if you want to just cut them out, you know, straight, they do have like a stamp design around the edges of them. And this is what they'd look like, you know, if you'd cut them out right there. But I want to go kind of the next level on this. And I'm actually going to take, and it's easier to do this once when they're all stuck together like this, but I'm going to actually take, and for every place there's a hole like this, I'm just going to kind of do a little, every place there's an indentation, I'm going to do a little and that would look a lot better if I had used a ruler to do it, but I did not. Yeah, I didn't use a ruler. Okay. All right, so you can cut them out like that, or you can use your postage stamp scissors to cut them out. So you can just cut them out, you know, straight like that along the edge. Or if you have a pair of, you know, stamp edge scissors, you can use that to cut them out. I'm just gonna ink the edges very slightly, you know, or you can do it like that. I guess with this, if I did this, I wouldn't really ink the edges. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut all those things out, ink everything up, and I'll be back. So I made a number of those. That one I did some fancy handwriting on. This one I just used a label, if you want to do a label type thing. I got that one like that. Okay, so those are kind of, it's kind of a fun way to use these smaller size printables on your Thanksgiving table. So that's really cool. I've also got a banner that I made, and I'll post a picture of this so you can see what it looks like hanging up. But it says "Thankful for Family" on it, and let's see, and I just tied it to a little clip like this, and I have blinds, so I just was able to clip it onto my blinds, but yeah, you can clip it onto whatever you want in your home. And then on the back, it has these great digitals from the artwork from the postcards. Oh, look how cute that is. Oh, that's so cute. Well, I hope you enjoyed these Thanksgiving home decor items that we made today. I will definitely be using this banner and the place cards on my Thanksgiving table this year. I will post the link for the Thanksgiving antique postcard kit that I used to make these in the description box below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you're planning on doing for Thanksgiving. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is Denise with PaperKraftD, and craft on.